Hello, this is RSG Maker. Welcome to my introduction to walfas video. In this video, I'll explain the basics of Crate.Swift, how to make your own comic. In this video, I'll be using Crate.Swift, HandySnap, and Comic Layouter Online. Crate.Swift is a 2D prop manipulating program that lets you make characters like my avatar here. You can get props, set text bubbles, and it has several backgrounds as well as a lot of Toho presets. Okay, starting off, the bottom left we have the main or stage menu. Clicking insert lets us import props, insert bubbles, it's different kinds, speech, thought bubbles, flotation. Global locks, we can keep certain things from being changed. Might be useful in some situations. Stage, clear, randomize, are on the screen. Background, you can set a background, scale it. Want it to be dark, you can make it darker. And if you want to move it, you can, so that way you want to just use part of it. If you have like a moving scene, also make use of that one, maybe not that close. This alpaca door here. New character creates a new randomized character. And we have load presets, which is a bunch of pre-made characters from Toho. And file lets us manipulate save data, so we can get characters or projects we've worked on. Objects on the screen can be manipulated with the mouse. Let's get a couple things. So, dragging a character or any object will move it. If you drag a character by the head, it will rotate it. Holding Shift while dragging an object will scale the object. Holding Control on while dragging an object, rotate it. If you are holding Control and dragging a character, it will keep it from rotating. Pressing F will flip it horizontally. Holding Shift and pressing F flips it vertically. Pressing D will duplicate a character, but in the case of a prop, we'll create a cluster, useful for bullets. Pressing R, let's get another object. Create rain. Or having a character selected, it randomizes it. Let's get rid of this rain. Pressing C will let you colorize objects. Let's see. Is there a thing that's colorizable? Oh, it is. See, it changes color. When we do it with a character, that's us a hair color. Oh, yes, and you probably already guessed. Pressing delete deletes whenever you've done. Okay, let's talk about the object menu. First off, we have options. This lets us fine-tune the position of an object, set the scale, and the rotation without needing to use the mouse. Sometimes it's not precise, or things can be hard to reach at times. Next, we have clusterize, which we've seen. Let's get another object. Rain, edit. We've seen rain. Edit can do the flip, of course. You have send to back and bring forward, and delete if you want that. Characters have a few different options. We have colorize, so you can set the hair color from here. Lock parts, you can keep things from being changed. You can duplicate and change parts. Change parts. This is how you can make your own custom characters. Not necessarily making the best design, just showing. Let's see. But one thing that you can do with this is make small adjustments as you're making your comics. Change their facial expressions. Like so. And certain other objects also have a few different things that can be tweaked when you're from the object menu. Snapshots can be tweaked. A snapshot, you press S, and it creates a copy of the screen. Can be useful for certain effects. This has things you can do to it too. It can be useful. Well, let's talk about making it the scene for our comic. First up, this is the scene menu. First thing we need to do is go into scene info and set the name for our comic or scene. This will be a 4 just calling it 4 and first thing, set a background. Put down some characters. I would recommend scaling it if they're kind of small, because you want to use up a lot of the background space when you make things. Right. Gonna make her talk. Alice. Now, you may see this text bubble, and really it's not that great in its current, the way it is right now. If you hold Control and drag, you can center that text. Holding Control and Shift will let you stretch the sides of the bubble. Get it centered, and then hold Shift and drag and get it at a good size. It'll make your comics a lot cleaner looking if you can get these text bubbles filled in properly. Now let's make Aya actually look like she's talking. Alright. The first part of the setup for our scene is done. So what we do is once you have your first, this will be like the first panel. So once this is done, we press Q. And that saves the scene and adds a new part. So now we're on panel 2. So now, next part of the setup for this coma, which is going to be, there are custom props for arms, but I'm going to just stick with what you can find right here in crate.swift for now. Adding these arm props. Of course, since Aya is scaled up, we need to scale up these arms. Control it down, put it behind her. Actually, let's first do this arm. It just save me work if I just did that first. Also, you can press M when you have something selected. You'll get the object manipulator tool, which gives you another way to edit it. Just whatever you find easier. Some situations, one might be more useful than the other. But yeah, pressing M toggles that. No, that's not quite right. Yeah, she's not blushing. Right, second part of the setup. This will be the second panel. Now we press Q again. I'm going to duplicate Alice and press the bracket keys so I can cycle through things. Well, actually, I'll just do it from here. And I need to get rid of all these props that are on their head, because there are quite a few. They will be left over if you just remove the head first. If you just do headless and it'll still have like the ribbon flying up there. It just looks silly. Yeah, this comic might have gotten just a bit dark. Let's have Aya back away a bit and for arms. Put it behind her. Adjust the text bubble. And have I maybe not look quite so happy. Now that this part is done, we can press Q. And this would be the final part of the 4 coma, but first, pressing space enters theater mode. Pressing the arrow keys lets you go through all the panels. So if you made a mistake or you have to change something, you can go back. But there's one small difference when you do this. I'll explain that in a moment. After I make an adjustment. As soon as I can find what I'm looking for, or at least something similar. Actually, let's just go for Now, when you edit a part or panel, you want to click up in the scene menu, click Scene, Save Scene. Otherwise, it'll make a new part, and we don't want to make more parts. We just want to edit this one. So, scroll all the way to the right. We're on part 4, last part. And we have to get rid of these eyes. And we need to adjust the text bubble again. And give Aya, let's see, where is it? No, not that. A confused expression. And let's add this Alice head. Have a speech bubble having it laugh. Now, for the last panel, we don't do Q, we just click Save Scene. Now when we go into theater mode, you can see all of our panels are ready to be put into a comic. If you go into the scene manager, you can see all the parts you've made. If you want to switch the order of them or delete a part, you can. Of course, you're going to want to be careful doing this because you could easily delete something you didn't mean to. Okay, we are ready to start making this into the comic. So first things first, to make sure there are no big obvious errors. Characters aren't going off into the white space. Alice is a tiny bit, but I'm okay with that. Facial expressions, make sure they are what you want them to be for that panel. Maybe a little more character movement than I've been doing, but I don't want to use up too much of your time. So once you have all that, make sure Andy Snap is running or some other screen capture utility. And go to the first panel. Press print screen and select all the area except for make sure not to get any of the white space. It won't look as good if you do. Of course, you could select less of it and it might look better. Like if you have like unused space, no sense capturing the unused space. And press enter. Go to the next part, print screen, enter, next, enter, and capture all your frames. So now we have all of our frames in HandySnap. Go ahead and select all of them, copy them somewhere, and then we're going to put them into a comic. For this I will use Comic Layouter, the online version. Just select one of these at a time. Then set a border if you want. You can set the color of the border if you want. For these, it seems like 20 is a good number for my screen size, but again, this one's a little smaller than usual. So you see, this is our comic. Just go ahead and save your image. Comic.png. There you go. There's our comic. Well, this has been how to make a comic and create .swift straight from the beginning. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.